week season. As we get ready to crown a champion here tonight. Working our way off the turn 4. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
You guys can hear me. We're trying to get it sorted out here. Just give us a second to kind of figure it out. I think you got it now. We got it. All right, good. Good. Well, I'm not going to run through the entire intro again, but a little shakedown of what we had going on in the beginning there. We are going to run 5 heat races. Obviously, this is heat race number 1. We had a little incident there, our first caution of the night. I thanked a lot of people, Billy Rowley, Zane Scott. You guys didn't hear me, but they heard me, so that's all that matters. But all the beautiful things on the screen right now are all made by our good friend Billy Rowley, so give him a big shout out. And all you in YouTube land and sitting here in the chat with us tonight, we appreciate you coming out to kind of give us some incentive and a little bit of a payoff for all the hard work that Zane and Billy put into getting this thing going. So we appreciate you being here with us on your Wednesday evening. We will go green this next time, I believe, as Dylan Ayler still leads the field in this heat race. We had our quick qualifier there, John Batista, get hung up in just a kind of a racing deal there. It looked like Ross Kaiser cut down a little too much, just didn't quite see that John Batista was there and collected a couple cars with him when he went around. But we are ready to go green again here. Dylan Ayler leads him out of 4. Little sideways coming down to the cone there as he almost got on the inside wall. That's going to open up the door for Dustin Griffith to slide on by. Ayler going to try and cut back down underneath him, heading into 3 and 4 here on lap number 6 of this 10-lap heat race. Not enough room to clear the slider. There's Dustin Griffith's going to clear him on the outside and hold the lead, headed to lap 7. Looks like the top right now, a lot of grip there around the marbles. Maybe that cushion finally starting to build up there. You can see a lot of grip kind of in the middle of the track as we shuffle through the field here. Kind of single file, everybody filling out where the slick is as we go through. Decent battle for the transfer spot right now as Eric Whitner and Chase Swafford go back and forth for 4th here. 4 cars going to go through. Your winner and your fast qualifier left over are going to make that pole shuffle, so it's important to get one of those top 4 spots. Indeed, right now as Swafford tries to run the bottom, but no avail there. Eric Whitner going to pull away from 3 and 4. Our top 3 still the same order. Dustin Griffiths, followed by Dylan Ayler, and Ty Schobalak right now kind of just pacing the field, feeling each other out. They know they're in a spot as we come around to the checkered flag. Dustin Griffith's going to hang on to it, followed by Dylan Ayler, Ty Schobalak, and Eric Whitner. Congratulations, Dustin Griffiths, for winning heat race number 1 of the new DRT season. Heat race number 2 getting ready to line up now. Again, we apologize for the communications error there early on, but we will get it righted. I said early, you guys didn't hear me, but we're going to have some hiccups. Bear with us as we get everything sorted out. It is week 1. I think by week 2, we'll be running a smooth ship here. So heat race number 2 lining up right now. Brett Strickler going to pace the field in this one from the pole position. Kevin Click to his outside, followed by Kenny Hoffman and Robert Boggs in row number 2. Row number 3. Former pro drivers here, James Edens and Cole Newhoffen. Cole Newhoffen, the fastest qualifier in this heat race, as he'll need to make his way up a couple spots, just like John Batista tried to do, but a lot of traffic as we saw in that first one. Richie Preston heading up row number 4 to his outside, going to be Ashton Mueller. And the final 2 spots in this one on the grid for 9th and 10th, Chase Keith and William Hobart round out heat race number 2. 10 laps again. Top 4 transfer. Once again, the heat race winner going to go to the pole shuffle, and the fast qualifier left over going to take the other spot, as we got 10 cars going to the pole shuffle, 2 from each heat race. Again, appreciate all the drivers coming out. This thing filled up in the first maybe 6 to 10 seconds, so really appreciate everybody coming out tonight with us and giving us a chance again, as we got a brand new dirt refresh. The cars look nice, they're leaning the right way, everybody's racing clean, everybody's getting used to it, so appreciate you all signing up and everybody watching out there. If you missed it, refresh as fast as you can next week, as we are green here in heat race number 2. Brett Strickler with a great jump heading into turn 1, a little squirrely getting into the corner there as he got a little too high up over the cushion. Kenny Hoffman going to slide in behind him and trying to run the top in 3 and 4. They catch him coming out of 4, followed by Kevin Click and James Edens, who James Edens moved up a couple spots there on that start, tries to run the bottom in turns 1 and 2. Not a lot of drive down there right now, but trying to feel it out, see where the grip is right there. Nice slide job there from Brett Strickler to take the lead on Kenny Hoffman. He's going to give one right back, heading into 1 and 2. Way up the track goes Hoffman as he taps the wall coming out of 2. That might give up 2 spots or 3. Here come the other 3 guys. James Edens to the inside of everybody is Strickler and Kevin Click race it to the line. James Edens finds himself with a chance at the top spot, headed into 1 and 2 with a slide job. Not going to stick as Strickler pulls out in front, headed to 3 and 4. James Edens really the only guy running the bottom for those first 2 laps. I think Hoffman saw that when he went by, and he's going to try that himself now. No real battle just yet for the transfer spot. Cole Newhoffen kind of just watching these 4 out in front of him, waiting for somebody to make a mistake, as he's not quite got the speed to catch these 4 right now. Kevin Click sitting in that 4th and final transfer spot right now. Kenny Hoffman trying to find the bottoms. We've got a caution that's going to reset everything towards the back of the field. It looked like William Hobart got up over the cushion and just got into the wall all by himself. Got it back on the 4 wheels, but that thing's got some severe damage, as he'll pull it to the pits and call it quits for heat race number 2 for him tonight. So he'll have to run the soup. But a good battle there for the lead. It looked like the bottom finally starting to come back in. Brett Strickler and James Edens kind of going bottom and top there, battling it out. Everybody waits for the pace car here coming out of 4. Very interesting to see how the tracks are going to play out as we get a little bit slicker as this night goes on. This is the first time I've gotten a chance to sit back and kind of watch a race with especially this many cars in a server all racing it out. We're going to go 10 laps in every heat race, then we're going to go another 12 in a C main and 16 more in a B main, plus the warm-up with the pole shuffles. So we had a 15-minute practice before all of this, and we really tried to get this thing slicked off so this track would kind of move around throughout the night. And so far, so good, as it looks like the bottom and the top, even the middle kind of in 1 and 2, are really, if you can hit it, it looks like it's really playing a good part in providing some good racing lines. But we are 1 to green next time, or this time by. Pace truck lights are out. Strickler in the field behind him gets squared away. Still 9 cars left in this heat race. Only 1 kind of really took any damage from that William Hobart incident there. Might have been some some damage for Richie Preston, but it looked like he was able to get around him just enough without causing too much. But pace truck getting ready to pull in here. Strickler leads him back. Late jump. Strickler trying to set the field back a little bit. Didn't quite work as Edens was right on him coming into turn number 1. Back to the bottoms goes Edens again, trying to see if there's anything down there still in 1 and 2. Nothing there in 3 and 4 as well, but we're single file through 1 through 4 right now as Richie Preston trying to make his way up around Cole Newhoffen to try and find himself into a late transfer spot here. Coming to 2 to go this time by. Edens going to file back in, kind of running the bottom and then trying to get as much grip down the straightaway as possible, but so far not enough, as it looks like Kenny Hoffman might be able to pull that spot from him. But a caution again, as we might have to go a little 1-lap shootout here Looked like Cole Newhoffen just got tight coming out of turn number 2. Got up in the wall, got a little sideways, top wing goes flying. And that's going to put a damper on his evening as well. He's got a lot of laps coming up. Looking for another soup run here for another one of our top qualifiers that can't find it out of the heat race. Still 8 cars left in this heat race, and it looks like we will have maybe a one-lap shootout. I know iRacing made some changes recently that I haven't got to experiment with myself, so it might go green on lap 9 or it might go green on lap 10. We'll have to see here this time by as the lights are out. We'll go green next time. We'll go single file here for the last restart, hopefully, of this heat race. Brett Strickler still in command of the field with James Edens behind him, followed by Kenny Hoffman and Kevin Click hanging on that last transfer spot. Richie Preston now sits right behind them, looking for a mistake to capitalize and get himself into the show. Pace truck pulls off, Brett Strickler in command, and he fires his green flag out of turn number 4. And it will be a one-lap shootout. Lap 10 right here as James Edens runs in the middle to try and get to the side of Brett Strickler. Strickler going to come down and cut him off just a little bit, try and take his momentum away. Here comes Edens to the inside of 3 and 4, trying to make it stick, and he will as Edens is going to pull it off on the final lap to win heat race number 2. Great finish there coming out of 4. Strickler going to round it up, end up in second, followed by Kenny Hoffman and Kevin Click. They will transfer straight through to the feature. We'll get the pole shuffle sorted out. Zane is going to work tirelessly tonight to make sure he's got all the right 10 cars in there. The heat race winner and your fast qualifier from each heat race. We want to give a big shout out to our first official sponsor. We are going to have a hard charger award tonight provided by Ace is Up SimSport, so we want to give a big thank you and a big shout out to them for putting that up for us. So your hard charger tonight, we'll have a prize for them at the end of this one, thanks to Ace is Up SimSport. Heat race number 3 on the grid now as they pull off. Starting on the front row, Lane Snook and Matt Dixon. Behind them, Tanner Pettit and Evan Say. Your fast qualifiers in this one, Loic Bernier and Clayton Tilley. In row number 4, it's going to be Kellen Sabo and Bradley Cox. And rounding out your field in the final 2 spots, Nicholas Cohan and Steven Turberville. That almost says Tubville. I kind of like that. We might call him Tubville. See if he can run the cushion for us tonight, and we can give him a new nickname starting off week 1. Pace truck lights are out as these guys give plenty of room for the pace truck to pull off without any conflict. Once again, Lane Snook, the beneficiary of the 6-man invert, will lead us to green as Clayton Tilley tries to fight his way into that top 4. We've seen these guys starting from the 6th position, able to get a transfer spot like right away coming out of turn 2, but it's been tough staying on the track after that as they try and sort through the traffic as Lane gets him green. Headed down into turn number 1. He's got a clear lead. One bouncing off the wall. Looks like it was Dixon. He gets it straightened out as we go 3 wide coming out of turn number 2 for those final transfer spots. Looks like Loic Bernier going to pull out in front of everybody going into 3 and 4. Kind of gets stuck in the middle there in no man's land able to pull away in the grip as he got back down low enough. Evan Say right now hanging on to that fourth and final transfer spot. As Lane Snook and Tanner Pettit really pulling away from this one right now. Nice slider there from Loic Bernier to try and clear for a third, but can't hang on to it. Evan Say able to pull around him going into 1 and 2. He'll hang on to that spot. Nice run off the cushion out of turn number 2. Here comes Clayton Tilley now with a slider on Bernier, and they're going to get a little bit of net code, it looked like there. Kind of the unfortunate situation that we just can't find a way to avoid here on iRacing. Unfortunately, we're racing across the world with each other, and these guys just get a little bit of air between them. And a little clip of the tire is all it took to take out our top qualifier once again. Tilley unable to hang on to it, just got it backed up into the wall and got collected by a few other cars. He's probably got some serious damage on that thing. It looks like it's crab walking on him. He might not be able to continue this one. Tough break so far for these top qualifiers. All three seem to run into some trouble. Looks like Tilley gonna try and just maybe stick it out, hope for some more issues from the guys in front of him, maybe find a better spot in a C or B main, but a lot of damage on that thing right now as we get things shaked out here. Lane Snook and Tanner Pettit really kind of took off with that one out of the frame for most of it, as they really got a good jump on the field and never looked back. The top right now, it looks like it's really sticking well as long as these guys are giving each other room to keep up that momentum. For the most part, they're able to pull away, but slider battle for the transfer spot, slowing a few guys down, but only 10 laps to try and make the feature without having to run the soup, so everybody on go from the green, and you can't really blame them. A lot of cars here tonight, high probability of not making the show. 40 lap feature on deck later on in the show, but for now we're just trying to get through 10, and these guys doing their best to make it through as clean as possible, but some things just don't go our way here on the internet land. Fish truck lights will go out this time as Zane took a little extra time to decipher what had happened there. It looked like race control giving us an extra lap here to sort through and see if anybody was at fault. Doesn't look like it. Like some air got between them there. No penalties for that one as everybody gets side by side again here. 2 wide restart. Give everybody a chance to get bunched up here so not strung out, just single file right away in these heat races. Lane Snook, Tanner Pettit on your front row again. Lights out, headed into 3 here. We will go green this time. Green flag is out. Lane Snook, another good jump. This time he's going to bring Evan Say with him. It looks like Say got a really good jump behind him. He's going to slide up right into second there in front of Tanner Pettit. Pettit trying to cut down underneath him to get to the inside in 3 and 4. They're going to go side by side and get a little touch. They're going to straighten it out, and that's going to open the door for Loic Bernier as he's going to slide up into third. A little contact coming out of 4 there, but everybody keeping it straight. Now Tanner Pettit finds himself on the bubble with Kellen Sabo breathing down his neck for that final transfer spot. Lane Snook, though, still out front, kind of just running the cushion all by his lonesome up there. Followed by Evan Say, running right behind him. Loic Bernier still trying to see if there's anything down there on the bottom. Gets a little tight in 3 and 4, but keeps it going. That's going to give Tanner Pettit a pretty good run on him going into 1 here. He might be able to cut down and get to his inside headed into 3, but these guys got to remember they're in a transfer spot. 5th, quite a ways back, looking from the outside in. That's a slide job there, going to slow both those cars up. Kellen Sabo trying to make the move on both of them. He's going to get the door slammed on him by Loic Bernier. He'll have to settle for 5th this time by as we're going to get 1 lap to go. Here's the white flag is out. Kellen Sabo pulls in front of Tanner Pettit there at the line, and now it's going to be a race for 4th. Pettit outside looking in, trying to get a run off the cushion, coming down out of 2. He's going to run the top again in 3 and 4. He is gonna maybe... No, he couldn't get back to Kellen Sable. Kellen Sable steals it at the line. Tanner Pettit was kind of running away with it there with Lane Snook in the early portion of that one, but now he'll run the B main as our top four going through that one. Going to be Lane Snook, who won it pretty easily. Evans Say kind of catching up there towards the end, got second. Luke Bernier and Sabo again stealing that fourth and final transfer spot from Tanner Pettit in heat race number 3. We'll grid up heat race number 4 now. On the pole for this one, going to be Casey Simons to his outside. Another Australian driver, good friend of ours, Craig Dunn. Second row inside, Matthew Croak and Austin Holsey to his outside. Chad Griggs in the 5th starting spot with Brandon Matson in 6th. Braden Matson, I'm sorry. Your quick qualifier in this one again. And then Darren Detweiler behind them with Craig Silby to his outside. And on the final row, starting in 9th, Andrew May, and a name we haven't seen in a while, starting in 10th, Peyton Greaves. Welcome back, Peyton Greaves, to the old iRacing dirt scene. If you didn't know, we just got off one of the worst builds in iRacing history that we had for the better part of a year, unfortunately. And a lot of names disappeared, a lot of top drivers that some people who just started in this year don't even know. And they're coming in here with 7,000 I rating and haven't missed a beat, it looks like. So a lot of these guys, names we haven't seen in a while, putting on a show for us here in DRT. Welcome back, guys. That's all I can say. I myself was gone for quite a while. Casey Simons gets ready to take us to green. The pace truck is off. And we'll go green here in heat race number 4. Good jump from Matthew Croak right behind him. He's going to pull Chad Griggs with him. It looked like the outside row really got stacked up. Craig Silby and Craig Dunn, 2 Australians fighting it out for, looks like, maybe 5th there. These guys battling in the back of the pack. Got to realize it's maybe unproductive as you're trying to kind of just get in line sometimes and chase down the top 4. But right now it's Chad Griggs hanging on to that 4th and final transfer spot. He's racing side by side with Darren Detweiler in that Dazine Metal Art sponsored number 3 green and black ride. Pretty sweet looking ride there. Running the bottom in 3 and 4, trying to see if there's anything down there. And that's going to open the door, I think, as it looked like. Chad Griggs might have had him, but Chad Griggs is up into the wall, got over the cushion in turn 1. It's going to drop him all the way to the back and bring in a new 4th spot for Craig Silby. Side by side racing through the back here. It's Craig Dunn side by side with Holsey through 1 and 2, and Craig Silby and Darren Detweiler kind of side by side coming out of turn 2. Everybody playing nice right now. A lot of space being given between the top and the bottom lanes. I think everybody's kind of seen both lanes can really work if you have enough patience to run the bottom and you have enough car control to run the top. But right now, out front, it's a Casey Simons show as he's just absolutely gapped the field so far. Matthew Croak trying to find it along the top there. He's got a pretty good gap between him and Craig Silby. Those 2 cars up front really in decent, if not perfect spots right now as they're just looking to repeat the same laps over and over with no pressure on them. Looks like a lap car, Chad Griggs there, that got caught up in that earlier incident, trying to get out of everybody's way, get into the pit road. We've gone single file through most of the field now, as here we are on lap number 9, 2 to go. And Casey Simons kind of just showing everybody the way around the cushion right now. Austin Holsey is pulled into the 4th and final transfer spot. Single file as we come to the checkered flag. Casey Simons going to win this one easily, followed up by Matthew Croak. Craig Silby and Austin Holsey found his way up in front of Darren Detweiler there on maybe lap 8 or so. to take the fourth and final transfer spot. Good, really great run there from Casey Simons, winning that one by over a full second. Ran the top the entire time as these guys get ready to grid up for heat number 5. You got to think that a lot of those guys were watching that one just now, trying to figure out where to run and where not to run. It looked like the bottom has all but gone away, as we might have to wait another 100 lap or so before it comes back in. But it's a good thing about this new build. Nobody kind of knows what's going to happen here with the track state. 50 plus cars in one server, so it looks like the top has really kind of yet to blow off, but that doesn't mean come B main time this track is completely gone and everybody's kind of finding where they can and can't go as they already are. As we get ready for heat race number 5, Caden Folkert's gonna lead us to green on this one. It is outside gonna be Colby Araki. Row number 2, Josh Whiteman and Joey Lindgren. Row number 3, your fast qualifiers, Rusty Kruger and Garrett Holsey. Row number 4, Jeff Noonmacher and Rick Main. Followed up in 9th and 10th by Randy Shreeps and Cole Ferguson. Bringing it up the back of this field here in our 5th and final heat race. A lot of new names I'm unfamiliar with, so if I am mispronouncing anybody's names, forgive me. Shoot me a message on how to pronounce it, and we'll try and get it right for the next week's coming up. But I've been out of the game for a little while, so a lot of these guys have been on here for a minute, but I just don't know all the names, so forgive me in the meantime. As the lights are out, we get ready to go green here. Caden Folkerts takes us to green here in the final heat race. Colby Araki sitting behind him coming out of turn number 2, running the top as he's going to gain a lot of ground on Caden heading to 3 and 4. Caden going to run that slide line. It's going to kill all his momentum coming out of 4. Araki kind of held up right behind him. That's going to open the door for Joey Lindgren with a big slider coming out of turn 2, going to catch the cushion and take off into 3 and 4. Change the lead here already on lap number 2. Colby Araki with really nowhere to go, unfortunately, there as he got held up behind Folkerts. He runs the bottom now as there's an absolute train of cars to his outside as he tries to find anything down there to keep his spot here in the transfer. Little bit of contact there for our 4th and final transfer spot, and we're going to have a caution. As a bunch of cars are getting wrapped around, I think the caution might come out. No, we're going to stay green. 3 cars or so caught up in that one, but we will continue green. Caden Folkerts now watching these first 3 cars drive away from him. I think he got a little bit of contact in that last little hiccup we had, but Rick Main trying to chase him down. He's to his inside here in turn number 1 and 2. Trying to get a run out of 2 into 3. Big slider coming up from Rick. So he gets in front of Caden here for that 4th and final transfer spot. Little caught up in the dry stuff coming out of 4. He'll have to try and cut back down underneath Caden for the final transfer spot. Out of 2, and he will. Rick Main clearing Caden Folkerts for the final transfer spot again. As the top 3, Joey Lindgren, Colby Araki, and Josh Whiteman have all but pulled away as they sit comfortably out in the first 3 spots. Single file the rest of the way through. Contact again at the line, and I think it's Folkerts again. Streve's going to get collected in that one and maybe just pull it off. I'm not sure. But again, a little bit of contact, no caution. Now Rick Main's got plenty of space between him and the final car behind him. But Rick Main in that final transfer spot. We come around to the checkered flag. It will be Joey Lindgren winning heat race number 5, followed up by Colby Araki, Josh Whiteman, and Rick Main all the way from 8th, getting some gifts there as cars got into it in front of him. He finds himself in that 4th and final transfer spot. Congrats to Rick. He finds himself in week number 1's A main. On to the C main. I think we're going to have 15. We are going to have 15 if everybody grids. 15 cars, 4 through to the B main, so they only got 12 laps to get up there and a lot of speed at the back of this field. We'll run it down for you. Aiden Forster going to lead it off here from the pole to his outside Cole Newhoffen. In the second row, Nicholas Cohan and Andrew May. Followed up in the third row, Randy Shreves and John Batista. And John Batista, once again, our quick qualifier on the evening, but caught up in that Heat Race 1 incident. He's going to have a long road ahead of him to try and make this A main. Seventh starting spot tonight going to be Chase Keith. Outside of him, Clayton Tilley. In ninth, going to be Chad Griggs and Garrett Holsey to his outside on row number 5. Trevor Royer behind them in 11th, and William Hobart 12th. Steven Tuberville and Peyton Grease rounding out row number 7, and all by his lonesome back there. And row number 8 going to be Rusty Kruger, guy with a lot of speed. Going to look for a lot of holes here in this one to try and make his way up. It's one of those 4 transfer spots. A lot of cars, a lot of space, a lot of track to maneuver at. These guys only have 12 laps. Looks like the cushion so far is still the way to go. Lights are out again on the pace truck once. I wish we could like make the pace truck go like 50 or 60. 35's too slow. I don't know what you guys think, but if that would be an option to change, that would be amazing. It would make the restarts a lot better. Not so much bunch up, not so much pulling away. Anyway, I digress. Aiden Forster in the middle of 3 and 4, getting ready to take us to green. Pace truck pulls out of his way. He stands on it, cuts down the track. It's a good jump. He's going to bring it. It looks like Nicholas Cohan with him right away. Is Nick going to jump out into second, running that bottom line again? Again, 4 spots. We got contact again for 4th. John Batista caught up in it once again. A lot of cars going around in that one. No caution, I think. Something might have happened with the cautions, but regardless, we stay green. John Batista with some damage now. Looks like he's falling back a little bit. Trevor Royer to his inside has that 4th and final transfer spot at the 5th spot right now. The 4th and final transfer spot just ahead of him. Chase Keith, as these 2 Black Diamond Motorsport cars try to chase down these guys. Big cut down line for first. This is Cohan running the bottom, and it looked like maybe Forster cutting down and almost got into each other and into their hopes of transferring through, but they stay off each other by just a hair. Really good battle on these first 6 cars, but a caution here towards the back. We'll find it as we click back through here. Finally had a caution. It looked like we were gonna get a couple. Ended up with one here. We gotta find it. Oh, there it was there. Turns 3 and 4. It looked like maybe contact between nobody. I think it was just Tilly getting into 3 and 4 and turned it into a wall. Okie dokie. Alright. Well, I think you just wanted to take the quick exit to kind of get things reset for the field here. Maybe a little rivalry brewing here for 4th and 5th. John Batista either texting on his phone, maybe upset with some moves Chase Keith has made, but a little bump there, just letting him know he's there. Race control sorting out the caution here. We will not go green just yet. think race control has sorted it out, and we should be going green the next time. But Aiden Forster's still out in front of this one, followed up by Andrew May, Nick Cohan, and Chase Keith in that fourth and final transfer spot. John Batista and Trevor Royer, the Black Diamond cars, right behind him. Might be working with a little bit of damage. They try and find their way up. Both those cars, when it come through, they're both going to have to get past a couple. Otherwise, they're going to be racing each other for that fourth and final spot. We will go too wide, I believe. Everybody's getting sorted out. Lights are out, so the cars are kind of scrambling to get together here. Side by side, 2 rows here on the restart. Pace truck pulling out of the way for Aiden Forster. Another good jump for him. This time, second and third. Look like Cohan and maybe May got into it there, coming to the line. That's going to drop May back quite a few spots. He's looking for a transfer spot now all of a sudden. Starting on that outside has not been good so far for these guys. May into the wall in the front stretch, along with Keith kind of getting into him, and that's going to be it for Mays. He's around in turn 1 and 2, finds himself all the way out of this race now completely, as the top 4 is completely shaken up. Aiden Forster still leading this one. Garrett Holsey. John Batista's found himself back into the spot, followed by Nick Cohan, as here comes Chase Keith again, trying to get to the inside. Door slammed by Cohan as they get together. Not going to be able to get through, as here comes Rusty Kruger around the outside all the way from 15th. Keep your eyes on the 10 car. He sits now in 6th, trying to find his way around a couple of these guys. Out of turn number 4, you had to kind of go to the bottom there to get away from some of the contact going up and around the top. Keith into the wall. He's going to take Kruger with him into the outside retaining wall. That's going to be the end of the night for both those cars. God, what a run it was for Kruger up to that point. Just not enough space up on the wall there for those two guys, as Kruger probably never saw him getting into the wall there. It looks like Keith kind of just caught the cushion, tried to stay out of it. Kruger might have thought he had him clear. Wings and tires flying everywhere. Unfortunate ending for Rusty Kruger, who was putting on a show before that. We're going to get things situated here with race control here. I think kind of maybe unfortunate racing deal there. Nobody can really be at fault for that one. One guy trying to do the right thing, stay up out of the way. Another car thinking everything was good and clear. Unfortunately, it just wasn't. The race back to the line that time. Nick Cohan had that 4th and final transfer spot. Trevor Royer still sitting on the outside looking in, trying to get in there with his teammate. Aiden Forster's gotten a good jump every time. He's kind of stayed out of trouble for the most part. Everybody behind him getting into one, it seemed like they haven't quite figured out where they want to enter or how to enter. And it's allowed him to pull away pretty easily so far. Each restart, the lights are out. Race control has everything sorted. We are going to go single file here, as we're going to have 3 to go. As we go green here, coming to lap number 10. Forster going to lead them through 3 and 4, hopefully for the last time here in the CMA. Pace truck getting out of his way. Early jump from Forster. Good jump from everybody else behind him. A single file restart, much better, getting turn 1 for everybody. Nice and clean through there. Here comes Trevor Royer around the cushion. Great run. Headed into 3 and 4. He's going to pull even with Cohan. All about the momentum. If he can get it out of 4, he can take that spot, and he did. Heading into 1, Trevor Royer going to have that 4th spot. Not at the line, but it looks like out of 2, he's going to clear him easily. White flag waving this time by. It's Royer, Batista, Garrett Holsey, and Forster. Your 4 transfer spots right now is Royer down to the bottom, trying to hang on to that 4th and final spot. He might get his teammate here, Batista, for 3rd, as Cohan looks for one last. Oh, unfortunate move there from Chad Griggs. ended any hope for Cohan. The top four are going to get through easily, with the rest of the field kind of get collected there in the final corner. But it's Aiden Forster, Garrett Holsey, John Batista, and Trevor Royer making it through after all the carnage. John Batista, your quick qualifier in the night, able to get through and head to the B main. We're going to have even more laps and even more cars here. 16 laps and 19 cars on track for, again, just 4 feature spots. Once again, guys, we do have a Hard Charger sponsorship tonight. We want to give another shout out to Aces Up SimSport for footing the bill for the Hard Charger Award. We will discuss that a little bit more towards the end of the night. Here's we want to give a big thank you and a big shout out to them once again for just coming on board with us. 19 cars again here in the B main, only 4 spots. We saw Rusty Kruger come from the 15th and final spot in the last one and almost steal a transfer spot before getting collected in an incident. But again, it's going to take a lot for these guys. Trevor Royer, Garrett Holsey, John Batista, all these guys that just transferred through. Aiden Forster, another guy, a lot of speed. These guys are at the back of this field. Got to play your cards right. Wait for the holes to open. There's only 16 laps, so we're going to run through here real quick. Your starting lineup: Chase Swafford, Richie Preston, Tanner Pettit, Darren Detweiler, Caleb Ferguson, Ross Kaiser, Robert Boggs, Bradley Cox and Craig Dunn, Caden Folkerts, Michael Sheridan, Ashton Mueller, Matt Dixon, Braden Matson, Jeff Noonmacher, Aiden Forster, Garrett Holsey, John Batista, and Trevor Royer. 19 car B main. Lights are out on the pace truck. We will go green this next time. Bye. It is Chase Swafford, another name we haven't seen in a while on iRacing, who will lead us to the green. Pace truck pulling out of the way here for Swaffer. The green is out, and here comes the rest of the field. He's going to take Pettit with him right away. They slide up in front of Richie Preston. Everybody kind of sorting it out. Middle of the pack getting a little contact, but they're going to keep it straight as we stay green. Headed into 3 and 4. The top 4 are kind of in their own little pack right now. Is Cole Ferguson in 5th, trying to find out what he can do to chase him. A little bit of contact for 3 and 4. That'll help him out. Richie Preston and Darren Detweiler getting into the side of each other. That opens the door for Ferguson as he slides up in front of Preston. Preston going to slide in on behind him and kind of just fill it out here. He's got a lot of laps left. He's only 1 spot out of it. Looks like the rest of the guys here behind him as well. A couple of guys side by side. The bottom and the top lanes really being worked in right now. John Batista's made his way up to 12th. Right now, the top 3 have all but pulled away as Richie Preston and Ferguson battle for 4th, but we've got a caution near the back. Looks like Caden Folkerts ran into some issues back there. 4 wide coming out of turn 2, and they ran out of space with each other. As it looks like Brandon Matson just got up into him a little bit, left him without too much room, and put him in the outside wall. Again, wings and tires flying everywhere. Metal Shop going to have a lot of donations after this one. Again, the top 3 really kind of pulled away there. Richie Preston and Cole Ferguson kind of battling back and forth, so that allowed those top 3 to really kind of distance themselves. But the cars behind Preston and Ferguson weren't really gaining on them, so I think at this point Richie's got a pretty big advantage starting here 4th in this next restart. If he can get a good jump. We're going to go 2 wide again, I believe. And that outside row has kind of struggled to get going with the leader on the inside row. So outside row might have a bit of a disadvantage, but they've got more grip up there for sure. If they can just roll the start, we might see some good action getting into turn 1 and 2. But I think race control going to give us maybe one more lap with the lights on here to get it sorted. We are going to turn the lights out. We are going to go double file. We've seen that inside row again, kind of take 2 or 3 cars with it up into those spots in front of the outside row. A little new feature, we're going to do a cone rule here come the feature. We'll explain that once we get there, but that might be some foreshadowing to what lane you might want to pick come feature time, as the truck's going to pull off out of the way. Tanner Pettit going to head into turn 4, stand on the gas, and take us to green. This time the inside row, not the best jump in the world, and that's going to allow Swafford to hang on to second. Darren Detweiler going to sit comfortably in third there. Little bit of contact with the wall back there for 6th. Bradley Cox, he gets it righted, and Richie Preston comfortably into 4th now as he runs the middle in 3 and 4. Everybody feeling out the track right now. A lot of cars battling for not very much real estate on the top of turn 2. Looks like that's the only spot everybody wants to be for that extra grip, but there is not much room to get through up there, especially with that wall that juts in coming off the backstretch. Right now, John Batista up to 7th. Your quick qualifier again on the night. We'll go on board with him. The Roofco in-car cam. As we watched him wheel this thing, trying to find his way into 2 more spots, riding the cushion in 1 and 2, getting a good run off of it. Little bit of gap out there in front of him. He tries to feel where he wants to go right now. I think the top in 3 and 4 kind of running out of speed. He'll get down to the bottom in 1 and 2. You can see how often he's pulling that wheel back and forth. Kind of gives you an example of what this track is like. Again, the dirt refresh, making everything brand new to everybody as we try and feel out the bumps and the ruts and the cushion. Everything brand new to everybody. You can see these guys really wheel these things now. Jump back up to the top 4. It's Tanner Pettit still out front, trying to run a little bit of a cut down with Swafford. Running the bottom, Darren Detweiler, Richie Preston, just single file right behind them, comfortably out in front of Michael Sheridan in 5th right now. John Batista still sitting in 6th. Aiden Forrester and Garrett Holsey, the other transfers right now, back there in 10th and 11th. Haven't really gotten through the traffic and had enough speed to clear anybody. Right now we've got 4 to go as we come by this time on lap number 13. Everybody playing nice in those top 4, giving each other plenty of room. A little bit of a slider there from Detweiler, but Swafford going to cut right back underneath him. Good move there from Chase Swafford as he gets back to the bottom where he wanted to be. Moving up to the middle on the exit to get as much of the grip as he can. Everybody kind of just finding where they're going to run right now. I think, for the most part, the middle's got what it takes to get by cars, but you've got to hope for a mistake, as everything's kind of even right now. John Batista trying to get around the outside of Michael Sheridan to get into that 5th spot. They're right on the tail tank of Richie Preston now. Both these cars looking for that 4th and final transfer spot, as we'll have the white flag this time. 3 cars battling for 4th. John Batista, great run out of 4. He's going to go around the outside here in 1 and 2. Try to get around Preston, but Preston with a great 1 and 2 there to pull away just a little bit. Checkered flag in the air for Tanner Pettit. He will win the B main. Preston going to hang on to that 4th and final transfer spot, as it was a hell of a run and a hell of an attempt from John Batista, but just falls 1 spot short. Tanner Pettit, Darren Detweiler, Chase Swafford, Richie Preston, all going to make it through to the A main as we're going to go into the warm-up. Track going to be closed for everybody as we got our pole shuffle sorted out from race control. We'll take a little bit of a breather here as I get a drink of water and race control does its thing. 10 cars in this pole shuffle. If you don't know, like I didn't, we're going to have basically a seeding. The heat race winners are going to get the top 5 spots, and then the quick qualifiers going to get 6 through 10. We're going to have basically a 1 or 2 lap dash. Whoever wins that 2 lap dash stays out on the track. The other car pulls in, he'll start 10th. The next car comes out. He'll race against the guy who's still out there, trying to get that, stay on the track basically. as they fight for one of those top spots. But I do believe we will have an order for you on screen here shortly as everybody kind of gets situated. Dustin Griffith's going to be your seed number 1, followed by James Edens, Joey Lindgren, Lane Snook, Casey Simons, the top 5, those heat race winners. Then Loic Bernier, Ty Schobelak, Austin Holsey, Kenny Hoffman, and Jason Whiteman going to be the quick time qualifiers from those heat races, the fastest qualifiers from those heat races. So on track right now, we're going to have the 10th and the 9th seeds going at it. It's going to be Josh Whiteman and Kenny Hoffman battling it out. They're going to go green, I believe, this time by. Again, the winner stays on track. So kind of a fuel calculation game you got to play here if you want to go against 9 other cars. You're going to go 20 laps maybe, so you're going to have enough. Because I don't know if maybe Whiteman didn't know we were going green, but Kenny Hoffman with a huge jump on him. Down into 3 and 4. Whiteman doing everything he can to catch back up, but Hoffman going to beat him to the line that time. One more lap around. Hoffman really railing the cushion right now, just sitting up there comfortably. The car just smooth as a Cadillac up there right now. Right rear, right on that cushion. As he'll win the first of the first pole shuffle races. We got it sorted quicker than I thought, so didn't get quite the break I figured we would, but that's all right. The quicker we go, the quicker bedtime is. Again, everybody who came out tonight either watching or came into the server with us, we appreciate you coming out, spending your Wednesday evening with us. Happy late 4th of July. Hope you all had fun, stayed safe. I believe Hoffman might have got penalized. Hoffman might have got penalized there from race control for the early jump, so Whiteman going to stay out on track, facing off against the 8 seed Austin Holsey. Early jump from Kenny Hoffman was the reasoning for the benching, so Kenny Hoffman will start the feature in 10th as we'll race for 9th and 8th here. Green flag as we come out of 4, much better jump from both drivers that time as race control gave the command. Austin Holsey chose the inside line as he gets off the early jump up into the cushion in 1 and 2. Big run out of there, headed into 3 and 4. Whiteman with a second chance at trying to win one of these. Right now, same story, different race as he's trying to run the slider line to catch up. Headed to 3 and 4 for the final time. Looks like Holsey going to hang on to this one, barring any incidents up top. Whiteman tries the bottom, but to no avail as Austin Holsey will win the second pole shuffle race. Whiteman will go around and pull it off. Next on the track should be Ty Schobelak as he gets ready to pull out of the pits now. Ty, the higher seed in this one, he will choose the lane as they get as he pulls up there to Austin waiting up there on the backstretch. He will choose the outside lane. That's kind of a surprise. We've seen the outside lane kind of get stuck, either trying to stay wide or cut down through the slick so far. So Ty going to choose the outside, probably try and run a big cut down here. He's got a really wide, big gap between them. Race command with the green. Holsey again got the lead off the bottom. Slider line up into 1 and 2. Schobelak way outside looking in right now. Trying to catch up again with that slider line. But the cushion right now, just so much momentum coming out of 4 and coming out of 2 that Holsey with a big run, much more top speed down the straightaway than Schobelak has. Again, it looks like Holsey, barring anything up top, going to pull away with this one as well. And we see our first repeat pole shuffle winner outside of Whiteman, who got the first win off of the DQ by Hoffman. So again, we mentioned earlier the fuel situation. We hope Halsey has enough in to maybe run it all the way down to the 1 seed here. Race control trying to get him out there as quickly as possible so we don't run out of time. It should be Loc Bernier, but I don't see him ready to go quite yet. And race control may or may not just skip him right out and put him back there at the end. Or he might just forfeit his spot and say, I'll take 8th or 9th or 7th, whatever it might be. I think right now we're going to pull Casey Simons out. And we will. Here comes Casey Simons. He's going to choose the inside line. That's probably the smart move. So Loc Bernier forfeiting his run here in the pole shuffle. This will be the 8th seed Austin Halsey versus Casey Simons. Simons again choosing the inside lane, and we've seen Halsey win the past 2 shuffles here from the bottom. Decent jump there from Simons. A lot more grip down there on the bottom. That's the smart choice. Sliding up into 1 and 2. Halsey up on the cushion right now. Another good run out of there. You might be able to get him here in 3 and 4 if you can run it really good up there. Down to the bottom goes Simons. Really great run through 3 and 4 there for Simons, though, as Halsey trying to find something. He's going to get into the wall out of 2, and that might end it for him as we come to the checkered flag here. Safe and sound for Casey Simons right through the middle. He'll take it. Austin Halsey's pole shuffle has ended. Not a bad run. He'll find himself running 6th, though I believe he should start 6th. Casey Simons and Lane Snitt will go at it now as here comes the 4 seed onto the track. Lane Snook once again won our 3rd heat race. So he is our 4th seed here. 4th and 5th right here as they get ready to go green again. Lane picks the bottom lane. Late jump there. Race control gave the command and Lane just didn't go. It's going to give Simons the advantage around the outside this time. Casey Simons at the bottom at 3 and 4. Sliding up out of 4. A little squirrely, but hangs on to it. 1 to go. This time snooped down to the bottom of 1 and 2. Good run off the cushion for Casey Simons as he has the 3 and 4 right through the middle. Staying out of trouble with the walls. He will win this one. Lane Snook, an unfortunate situation there. Just didn't get the jump I think he hoped for. As his pole shuffle ends, he will be our 5th starter. Casey Simons has now moved himself up into at least the first 2 rows. So he'll battle out now with Joey Lindgren as he gets ready to pull out onto the track, our 3rd seed. Simons waits on the backstretch for his competition. So far, so good. We're moving along. Lindgren going to take the inside line here as they roll towards 3. Green flag from race control, and they are off. Lindgren, not the best start there. He got a little squirrely. It's going to give Simons an opening around the cushion here, see if he can get a run out of 2. Lindgren kind of no man's land running the slider line. He's going to stay in front of him. But here comes Simons right through the middle where he's liked so far. Right through the middle. He found some grip and takes the lead after the first lap. White flag in the air. Here comes Simons with slider line 1 and 2. Lindgren to the bottom. He found a lot of grip. He's going to take the lead by just the nose. To the bottom at 3 and 4. Lindgren going to take it back and win it here. After a shaky start, he comes back on lap number 2 and finds himself living another day here as he'll take on James Edens here. Our second to last pole shuffle race coming up here. James Eden and Dustin Griffiths left. James Eden's getting ready to choose his line. James is going to go inside as well. Race control readying the mic for the green flag command. Green flag is out. I think it was clean. Joey Lindgren out in front of James Edens. It looked like they both went at the same time. Maybe Lindgren might have had a nose on him, but either way, Edens just able to barely pull out in front of him. Little wheel action there. That's going to give Edens a big opening out of 4 as Lindgren kind of came down into his right rear with his left front. Edens comfortably through 1 and 2 right through the middle. 2 more corners to go for Edens right through the middle of the track just above the slick. And he's going to take it here for second to last whole shuffle race. So any controversy at the start of that one is negated as Edens is able to win it anyway. Dustin Griffiths comes on out. Your final pole shuffle race here. Justin Griffiths, to no surprise, will take the bottom. He's been practicing the bottom all week, he says. So see if he's got it dialed in down there. Green flag from race control. James Edens with a good jump again off the outside this time. Griffiths to the bottom of 1 and 2, trying to find something down there. Good run out of 2. They're going to be side by side, headed into 3 and 4. Edens a little bit higher than he's been. Griffiths takes that line from him underneath. Side by side to the line. It's Edens just out in front by a nose. We got 1 lap to go. Griffiths again to the bottom 1 and 2. Edens kind of up out of the groove. He's going to get just behind him into 3 and 4. Griffiths trying to hang on. Edens with a good run out of 4, and he's going to take it by a nose wing. Just barely out in front of Dustin Griffiths there. James Edens going to win your pole shuffle. Just a hair out in front of Dustin Griffiths there. Dustin made a little mistake getting through 3 and 4 there. James Edens will be your pole sitter for tonight. We got 40 laps on deck, folks. We're going to take a quick breather. We'll be right back. Track is closed for the next few minutes. So, since you guys can't hear race control, I will translate as best as I can. We are going to have a choose cone rule in effect here for the first 20 laps of this feature. Choose cone means these guys are going to come out of turn 4 and have to choose what lane they want to be in by the time they get to that victory lane box on the front stretch in the inside wall. They designate what line they want to be in by pulling all the way to the outside wall or pulling all the way to the inside wall. That'll be, again, for the first 20 laps. If they do not choose, they are going to get an EOL, I believe. And essentially, it can wind up being everybody wants to start on the bottom, everybody goes down the bottom, we start single file. Everybody wants to start on the top, we'll go single file on the top. We could have 20 cars on the inside wall and only 10 on the outside. However they shake it out is how they shake it out. That is the point of the choose cone. You get an advantage. We might be restarting 10th, but nobody wants to start on the outside, so hey, I'm going to pull up there, take off a couple spots right away as we go green and try and find my way back to whatever line is good. We are going to go 40 laps here at Volusia Speedway Park. Again, folks, thanks for coming out. Week number 1 of DRT here in Northeast Florida, the virtual Volusia. We're going to have 24 cars on tap. We're gonna reset our top 10 guys. Obviously, by the way they finished off that pole shuffle, we know for sure it's gonna be James Edens and then Dustin Griffiths. I believe the next guy was Casey Simons, but I think for the most part, we're gonna get them shaken out before we even go green here. So we'll get everybody lined up, and then we can click on through. But from 11th on back, we're gonna have Ty Schobelach, Kenny Hoffman, Loke Bernier, Craig Silby, Josh Whiteman, Eric Whitner, Kevin Click, Kellen Sabo, Austin Holsey, Rick Main, Tanner Pettit, Swafford, Detweiler, and Richie Preston rounding out the 24 car field for 40 laps here in Volusia. As race control gets everybody situated in that top 10 after that pole shuffle finished out. We've got James Edens on the pole, followed up by Dustin Griffiths, Joey Lindgren in third, followed by Casey Simons. To the inside of row number 3 going to be Lane Snook. To his outside, Austin Holsey starting in 6th. 7th going to be Josh Whiteman. 8th to his outside, Ty Schobelach. 9th going to be Dylan Ayler, and 10th going to be Kenny Hoffman. I don't know what happened to Loic Bernier. I think he might have just disconnected completely. He was gonna be out there. Missed his pole shuffle, so I think we're missing him for the entire show, and we are. He is no longer here. So only 23 cars. Race control turns the lights out on the pace truck this time. So actually that 11th through 24th, everybody moves up one spot. Engines are hot, tires are warmed up, ready to go. Everybody's got probably butterflies. I know I do. It's week 1 of the Dirt Racing Tour here on Elbows Up TV. James Edens, your week 1 pole sitter, going to take us to the green as the pace truck pulls off. We are green here in week number 1. Good jump from Edens to the inside. Justin Griffith's going to follow him down to the bottom. Lane Grun, Lane Snook, Casey Simons, everybody getting situated. Got a 4-car battle back there for 7th. Everybody trying to play nice. We got 40 laps. 3 wide coming out of 4 in the middle of the pack as we got contact on the front stretch. Whitner took a lot of damage there. A lot of cars getting caught up late. We'll go back and try and catch what happened. I believe it was Ayler. Got a little tight. No, he had help. He had a little bit of help from Evan Say, who ran the bottom in 4. And then kind of just came up a little bit too much into him. Gave him a little bit of help there getting into Eric Whitner. Just a bystander and a passenger at that point as he got smashed into the wall. Tried to get down out of the way. Caught a couple more cars with him. Unfortunate for those guys who got collected into that one, but lap number 1 was almost fully complete. Again, the choose cone rule. So the first 20 laps, these guys are going to have to choose when iRacing says we're getting ready to go 1 to green. So right now, race control going to take a few extra laps, I'm sure, to kind of decipher what happened there. But I think everybody involved might have had too much contact to unfortunately continue. We will pace single file, obviously, and then these guys will get sorted out when they choose coming out of 4. Yeah, it looks like we've had Tanner Pettit, Dylan Ayler, Craig Silby, Eric Whitner all pull off already. So 4 of our 23 cars looks like they've gone to the garage. James Edens making it very clear. He wants the inside line as he rides the wall. Race control trying to decipher what to do about the incident. Lights stay on for now. Evan Say is given the penalty to go to the end of the line. he will do so. We know he's got a little bit of damage, at least on the front end of that thing. So probably not the worst thing in the world for him to kind of maybe just see how that car feels underneath him. Dylan Ayler actually going to pull back out onto the track after getting a lot of damage in that one as well. So I think this time by we might be choosing lanes. Not quite yet. Next time by we're going to choose what lane we want to be in. First time we've really seen this in a league where these guys are going to have to choose what line they want to be in. It'll be interesting to see how far back some guys are able to move up by just choosing the uncommon line or the unfavorable line. We know James Edens wants that inside, I believe. Justin Griffith's probably going to go down there as well. I don't know if many of these guys really want to start on the top too much. Justin Griffith's actually going to take the outside here, so he wants to hold his position up there and just hope he can get to the bottom again like he did on the original start. These guys do a great job of getting through and choosing what line they want to be in. Very distinct, very even. Pretty even all the way through the back there. Looks like maybe a handful more cars chose the bottom, but regardless, the lights are out and we are going to go green again. We're going to try... No, the lights are on. I apologize. The lights are still on. We're going to go one more time around, race control says. Lines are sorted. Race control with the command ready to clear blacks. Lights are now out on the pace truck, and we'll go through 2 and head to 3 and 4. James Edens again still out front, held the lead through that first lap. Justin Griffiths to his outside. Zoe Lindgren, Casey Simons, and Lane Snook to your top 5 on this restart. Pace truck going to get out of their way as these 410s get ready to fire up. James Edens is on it, and we are green. A little bit of contact there for second. Griffith's going to lose a spot right away, but he finds an opening into third. Lindgren pulls to the inside of him and slides up in front. Griffith's back to his inside through 3 and 4. Good move there down to backstretch to get back to the bottom of 3 and 4. Double file through the middle of the field for the most part. A little bit of contact from cars bouncing off the wheels, but we're still pointing the right direction as we go 3 wide for 8th here. Bouncing off each other again. Iraqi and Shobalak, a little bit of contact back there, but everybody getting out of the gas and playing nice for now. Top 3 single file through the bottom. Everybody else behind them 2 wide. Battle for 4th is on as it looks like it's going to be Lane Snook and Casey Simons, but here comes Austin Holsey around the outside. Got by Casey Simons there for 5th, and now he's taking on Snook as the cushion looks to be coming back into this one. Austin Holsey letting it rip around the outside. He finds himself in solo 4th, lap number 7. Little bit of issues with the ticker, folks, but I'll try and keep you updated on where everybody's at as much as possible. The middle of the field kind of just feeling it out right now. Middle and bottom lanes looking good for them. Top 3 still running the bottom, all right in line with each other. James Edens, little by little, each lap kind of puts a little bit on the field behind him. Austin Holsey still trying to make the top work, really one of the only ones. Him and Kenny Hoffman up there battling for 3rd and 4th right now. Holsey pulling even into 3 and 4 that time with Lindgren. The top with a lot of momentum coming out of the corner. You'll see Holsey get into 1 and 2 there in front. Lindgren probably pull back in front coming out of the corner, and then again Holsey able to take the lead back into 3 and 4. So good battle right now for the last podium spot. Holsey might have a chance at Griffiths here as he pulls into 3rd. Griffiths and Edens still running that same line, following each other's tracks. Holsey really just showing them the way around the top right now. Here comes Kenny Hoffman as well. A lot of speed around the top for these 2 drivers. We look through the field again, kind of single filed out. A little bit of side-by-side action, but these guys in the middle of the pack kind of just playing nice. giving each other plenty of space. Halsey finding his way around Griffiths that time out of 4. And I don't think it's going to count. Oh, that's unfortunate. The yellow coming out maybe 20 yards before they finish that lap. And Halsey's going to have to give that spot back to Griffiths. We'll find out what happened, as I think a lot of cars are pulling into the pits here. Big wreck again coming out of 2. Eric Whitner looks like he got involved again. Oh. Kellen Sabo and Colby Araki right front to left rear. That left rear is going to win that battle every time in these wing sprint cars. Sabo goes around, collects a couple more cars with him, and up and over they go, and their night is over. Race control going to give us time to sort it out. A lot of these guys battling side by side. Not too much room to try and avoid that. Evan Cease, he got caught up there as well, and just a lot of cars got collected in that one, unfortunately, just due to the close, tight racing they were getting through 1 and 2 there, and everybody kind of running right through the middle. Race control gonna set the choose cone out in the middle of the track. Interesting to see now, 12 laps in the books, what these drivers decide to do. They've got to have a feeling where they want to be now for sure. We might see some more shakeups this time, but for the most part, I think we know where Halsey and Kenny Hoffman are going. Running the top 2 perfection so far. Kenny Hoffman up to 5th. Austin Halsey up to 3rd right now. I believe the ticker has been fixed, so you should be able to see the correct order here. When we go green, of course, iRacing cautions are kind of funky, putting last place cars in front every once in a while, so when we go green it will sort itself out. The choose cone, cars and drivers have decided where they want to go. Again, pretty even through the field. Dustin Griffiths once again taking the outside. He did get passed by Lindgren on the last restart, so an interesting choice there for him, but he was able to get back around him for 2nd. Halsey, Kenny Hoffman, of course, chose the outside, and Halsey just looking for a good jump from Griffiths so he can follow him around and get a good jump around the outside heading into 1, but Josh Whiteman going to get an EOL for a choose cone violation. Did not decide in time where he wanted to go. He will head to the back of his line. You choose too late, race control will have no sympathy for you. He will send you to the end of the line. The lights are out on the pace truck. James Edens has led since the first green drop, running right through the bottom in the middle of the track. He chooses the bottom line once again, and we are green out of 4. James Edens another good jump. This time Griffiths much better on the outside with him. We'll follow him down into 1 and 2, followed by Lindgren and Lane Snook. Big contact there by Hoffman. A lot of guys getting collected. Snook able to keep it going, but a lot of positions lost from some of these guys in those top spots. Halsey found his way through, running the top clean. He sits in 4th right now, trying to chase down Joey Lindgren, Dustin Griffiths, and James Edens, as again they are single file running right through the middle of the track on both sides. Halsey trying to figure it out if the top is still there. Kevin Click sitting in 5th right now, right behind them, in kind of just biding his time as well, running right through the middle, minding his own business as these guys run around the outside of him. Plenty of space between all these cars, but I think right now James Edens has what it takes to get this thing done right to the middle of these cars behind him. Battling a little bit as Lindgren and Griffiths trade spots for the first time. Griffiths back to the inside of Lindgren into turn 3 and 4. Griffiths a little lower than he wants to be. You can tell that track is really, really slick down the bottom. That's going to give Halsey the opening around the outside. Halsey in a 1 and 2, a little bit of contact with the wall. That's going to slow him down just a bit and open the door for Kenny Hoffman. Hoffman trying to slide up, not enough momentum, and he'll slam on the brakes. Give Halsey the benefit of the doubt to go around him. We hop on board here with Hoffman, trying to see here how he's working this wheel. The Racecraft Academy driver from Allentown, PA, piloting the number 1, ripping the wheel back and forth on this cushion. The car looks so smooth, but it takes a lot of input to keep it that straight up top of there. These guys have that right rear cushion right on the wall. And they're ripping it around, but James Edens and Joey Lindgren still showing the way right through the middle of the track. Lucia, one of those unique places where it's got a shelf, so the outside lane doesn't really have too much momentum coming down the track like many of these other tracks do that have banking all the way up. See James Edens and Joey Lindgren right now on the edge of that banking, and they're really using it to their advantage right now, carrying a lot of speed to the middle of the corner. Kenny Hoffman trying something different now and try to make a move on Halsey, but slider line no good there as he has to pull back to the top in 3 and 4, or excuse me, in 1 and 2. Dustin Griffiths has found himself dropped back to 5th now. That bottom going away for him in his car. Again, tire wear, a situation we've got to take into account now with this new build on iRacing. These guys running more in the grip, probably not spinning the tires as much. Lap 23 here, over halfway now. There will be no choose cone if we get another caution. Keep that in mind. But these cars, Joey Lindgren and James Edens, running right through the middle, right through the slick, probably putting a lot of wear on those tires as they get them a little bit more sideways than these other guys. Halsey, though, a little bit of rub of the wall, but he'll keep it straight. Really spaced out now as everybody has kind of just single filed out. I think a lot of it, everybody's figured out where they can and can't go. Middle of the pack kind of side by side still, but for the most part, it's the James Edens and Joey Lindgren shows. Lindgren just waiting for one mistake. He's been right on his bumper the entire time. Edens slides a little high coming out of turn 2 there. We got lap traffic here. Is Kellen Sabo going to make an obvious move to the bottom to stay out of their way? Good on Sabo there. He's got a pretty wrecked race car and just trying to stay out of everybody's way and take some laps. That allowed Edens to kind of pull back away from Lindgren, though. We check back through the middle here. Dustin Griffiths to the top side now of the racetrack. Brett Strickler and Tanner Pettit battling it out for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Good battle, 3-car battle here. Might have a race for the lead. Lindgren trying to get around the outside of James Edens. Headed to the line. He's got the nose there. Trying to get the momentum off that banking. See if he can cut underneath Edens here out of 1 and 2. Edens sliding a little bit high out of 2. That's going to open the door for Lindgren. Headed to the bottom in 3 and 4. Edens slams the door and says, "This is my middle. You will not take it from me just yet." And hangs on to the lead here as they complete lap 29, headed to lap 30 now. 11 laps to go. Edens is still out front, led every single lap of this thing. Big slide job from Kenny Hoffman on Austin Halsey for 3rd. Kenny Hoffman going to hang on to it. Headed to the top again in 1 and 2. Halsey trying to figure it out through the middle. Tire wear looks like it might be coming a factor for Austin Halsey. Maybe some of the damage accumulation over hitting the wall a few times. Right now, a lot of space between all these cars. Great racing. A lot of clean action. The race for the lead is still really tight. Lindgren's still right there waiting for a mistake from Edens as they go into turns 3 and 4. Headed to the line with 8 to go this time by. Again, lap traffic right in front of James Edens. Everybody playing nice as the leaders come through. The lap car that time is Matthew Croak as these guys go around the outside of him without any trouble. Lindgren made a lot of space up there as they got through 3 and 4. Again, Lindgren entering a little bit higher than Edens and able to kind of cut down the track as Edens is kind of running a little bit different line, entering a little bit lower and then getting up higher in 2 to kind of get a little bit better run in to 3 and 4. But so far, Lindgren just kind of biding his time right behind him, waiting for a mistake or maybe hope for a pick from lap traffic. Not much action through the rest of the field. We're not missing anything back there, folks. We are locked in right here on the leaders with 5 to go that time by. Lap traffic right in front of Edens as they have made a wall right in front of him. Lindgren trying to find a way through. right through the middle. Lindgren going to pull out in front of James Edens on lap 37. Edens right through the traffic that time to the inside of Lindgren. The wall and the block came for Lindgren, and he took advantage. He's got the line he wants now as Edens tries to fight back from a car length back out of turn number 4. 3 to go this time by. Lap 38 here, the battle continues. Out of turn 1 and 2, you can see they're getting in that wetter dirt and trying to get as much momentum into 3 and 4 as they can. 2 to go this time by. Lindgren, now that he's got the clear open space and a caution with 2 to go, gonna reset everything Lindgren just made up. Unfortunate series of events there for him. As soon as he got into clean air, he was pulling away from James Edens. The incident looked like it came in the middle of the pack as we try to find it. I'm not quite seeing what happened. Some cars still pulled off, but regardless, we will go green for a 1 lap shootout between James Edens and Joey Lindgren, who have been pulled away from the field the entire race. It is now anybody's race. We have seen a handful of races be decided late with cautions like this, with tire wear really affecting the restarts. Looked like Halsey, we get word Halsey ran out of fuel and he just couldn't get off the track in time. Halsey was one of those cars running the top. 40 laps around the top. This place was probably a lot bigger than a half mile. And unfortunate for him, they were running out of fuel with almost 1 to go for the leaders. Lindgren probably sweating bullets right now. James Edens, now the one waiting right behind him for a mistake, but only 1 lap to make a move. These top 2 have been the 2 cars to beat all night long. Kenny Hoffman, Tanner Pettit, Justin Griffiths, the top 5 as they look for a mistake in this 1 lap shootout. The lights are out on the pace truck. It will be Lindgren bringing us to the green. He will stay out on the cushion to try and get as much momentum into the first corner as he can. Edens with a decent jump behind him as we are green. Here comes Lindgren into turn number 1. Edens going to go to the top for the first time tonight. So he tries to find the cushion, see if anything's there to make a move on Lindgren into 3 and 4. Good momentum from Edens as he'll stay on the top in 3 and 4. Here he comes right in the wall through the final corner. Lindgren will hang on. Edens is going to get second, followed by Kenny Hoffman rounding out the podium. Is Lindgren able to make it through cleanly the final 4 corners? A great race there to end it. James Edens, good to see him try something different there to try and just absolutely rail the cushion. Little contact with the wall, unable to get the momentum he needed through 3 and 4 to pull it on Lindgren. They will pull around to the front stretch for us. What a race. That was a good one there at the end. Final order for us here. Lindgren going to take the win. A late race pass, and he hangs on. The final restart. James Edens followed up in second. Kenny Hoffman rounded out the podium. Tanner Pettit, Dustin Griffiths, Brett Strickler, Ty Schoblock, Colby Iraqi, Kevin Click, and Richie Preston all the way up to 10th from 24th to finish in the top 10. Lane Snook, Casey Simons, Josh Whiteman, Chase Swafford, Rick Main, Darren Detweiler, Matthew Croak, Austin Holsey, Kellen Sabo, Dylan Ayler, the top 20. Eric Whitner, Evan Say, and Craig Silby involved in one of those early crashes. They finish in 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. And the non-starter, Luke Bernier, will line it up or finish it out in 24th. So we get these guys ready to go into the booth. Try to pull them in one by one here. I believe we have our third place finisher, Kenny Hoffman, ready to go. I think I can drag it. Let's see. Kenny, do you copy?
Yes. Hello, Shay.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Not bad. After watching a good race like that, looked like you and Halsey were really railing the top there. What'd you set up there for those 40 laps, knowing a lot of these guys are probably going to stick to the middle and the bottom?
Yeah, from previous races, experience here at Volusia. I kind of took a gamble because I was kind of banking on it being kind of racier, like the old build, like how the middle bottom kind of came in. The previous league, I kind of just set up for the top and just let it rip. So the plan was honestly just go where people aren't. I mean, I had to move around a couple times, but when we were set up for the top, I don't know, we were really good. I think if I could have got by Halsey sooner, I think I could have probably got up there with James and Joey there. But yeah, dude, it was a heck of a race.
It looked like that. We went on board with you there once or twice, and it looked like kind of ripping the wheel back and forth. What'd you feel with this new build up on that cushion? I know a lot of guys kind of explain the ruts and how the feel of the cushion is now. Explain to me kind of how that felt up there for those 40 laps, if you gasped or not.
Yeah, honestly, it kind of felt the same as it has previous. I mean, 1 and 2 was, I don't know, it felt like you had to kind of bury the car in to the cushion a little bit more. Just so you had that grip. I mean, I don't really think I was running perfect laps around the top in 3 and 4. I think that's what was it Austin or Halsey in front of me? Whoever it was. I think he was better in 3 and 4, and I was way better in 1 and 2 than he was. 3 and 4 was, it's just like it's week 1 point racing, and the way it got, it used to be like a freaking mountain of dirt, and now it was barely anything. So I don't know. I was being a little cautious there. I think, if I would have sent it a little bit more in 3 and 4, I probably could have had, some good pace with, him, probably got by him sooner. But, it didn't really feel too bad. Just 3 and 4 is a little bit more different than how 1 and 2 is.
Well, you said it perfectly. Points racing, week 1, DRT, want to thank you for coming out. Obviously, congrats on the podium spot. Got any shout-outs? Now's the time.
Yeah, just got to thank, you guys for putting this league on. I didn't race it last season, and I really wished I did. So, thank you guys for doing this again, and, you guys broadcasting. Shout out to all my teammates. Some of them had unfortunate luck, but, Eric, he did well in the feature until he got caught up in the accident. Casey Simons, he was running really good too. Shout out to all of our sponsors and Nitro Circus, Racecraft Academy, Apex Gaming PCs, Next Level Racing, and oh god, whoever else is that, I forget right now. Sorry, but thank you guys again for running this league again, and I look forward to being here as much as I can. Just got to see what my schedule turns into. I'm going to do everything I can to run this full time though. So once again, thank you guys for broadcasting.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming out. Good luck next week. We'll see you then.
Yep, thank you.
We got our second place finisher here, led the most laps. James Edens, what happened there late in that race with that wall that got set up in front of you?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. You said it there. We caught those two guys running side by side. Wasn't really sure what they were going to do, and just try to keep my momentum up top. Just hopefully get around the guy on the bottom. It looked like he was going, and then they just kind of parted the season. Joey went by us all there, so yeah. But we were losing the car a little bit at the end. I think Joey was definitely better the last probably 8 to 10 laps for sure. So we were just kind of hanging on and trying to not make mistakes, and it goes like that sometimes.
Yeah, I think you said it perfectly. Like, you were kind of in the worst spot you could be in, and he was kind of in the perfect position to get by everybody. Once it parted, he had the most momentum and room to get through there. How did the tire wear feel? How did running right through the middle, kind of finding the marbles? How'd the slick play out? All this new build stuff. You can speak to any of that. I don't know how many races you've done, but any insight to that, we would love to hear it.
I've done. I think that's my third race now since the build. So, my second one was last week, and third one this week. First 410 races. So we're still kind of learning. I definitely feel like I'm losing it towards the end. These longer 40 lap races seem to be not playing into our favor. We're really good for 30, and then kind of fall off the last 10. So, we were on a completely different setup from this week from Eldora, though. So we're just, one day at a time, we'll figure it out.
Well, all in all, not a bad way to end week number 1. Kenny said it, points racing. You stayed clean. You finished second, showing up every week, getting points. That's all you can ask for. If you got any thank yous, any shout-outs, now's the time.
I just got to thank the guys at Alpha Industries and Dominator Designs and Graphics, and all our wonderful supporters that been with us for years now.
Appreciate you coming out, James. It's good to see you. We'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
And now we've got our race 1, week 1 Volusia Speedway Park winner, Joey Lindgren, the Speed Shop 51 momentum driver. Joey, what a move there late in the race. You kind of got some help from lap traffic. It was good to see this thing go green and really get into the kind of the meat of the traffic there, and you made it took advantage of it. How'd that play out in front of you there from your seat?
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of from real life racing, to be honest. Seeing James go up to the top, try to go around the lappers, and seeing then there was a hole in the lap traffic, and I was either going to make it through that hole, or I was just, going to end up on my lid, or even worse, take James out in the process. But glad that we didn't take anybody out, and Rapplers, did their job and kind of held their line, and, got to racing a little bit in lap traffic, and, it was pretty fun.
Yeah, it looked like you were on his tail the whole time, just waiting for that one moment, and you took advantage of it when it came up and then didn't look back. What'd you think when that last caution came out with 1 lap to go? What was going to happen? What going through your mind there?
It was actually, not really nerve-wracking, to be honest with you. I was kind of saving tires the whole race, and with whatever we had for setup-wise, it was, made for late race, so wasn't really too worried about any charges, if I'd say. But I know that sounds cocky, but just I was saving the whole race, and just looking after my stuff all 40 laps, and ended up paying off in the end.
Awesome. Well, congrats again, Joey, on the week 1 victory. Fantastic race. Great move at the end there to get through and get by everybody. Any sponsor shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, I got to shout out all the guys at Speed Shop 51, Tanner, Aiden, Ryan, and eyes in this guy, Clayton Tilley. He helped me through that whole race, coached me through what to do, and just, it helped me a lot. He kind of calmed me down during the yellows, and, just all of it happened. I thank my sponsors, CT Designs, Trackside Collective, SpeedShop51.com, Joey Linger Photography, Verdict Clothing, probably forgetting somebody, CT Designs if I haven't said that already, and Victor Fuel.
It's tough when you got that many people helping you, huh?
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, Joey, thanks for coming out. Again, congrats on week number 1. And, again, great race. We'll see you next week. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
All right, folks, that is going to do it here for us in week number 1 here at Volusia. For my partners, Billy Rowley and Zane Scott, we want to thank you all so much for coming out. You guys filled the lobby in maybe 10 seconds. The chat and the YouTube, everybody was in there watching and keeping a close eye on that race. Fantastic race, long green flag run. Couldn't ask for anything more than that after things got sorted out early. The racing was absolutely fantastic. We look forward to seeing you all next week. In week number 2, I am Shea Paulo signing off. Good night.
Great 12-week season as we get ready to crown a champion here tonight. Working our way off the turn before. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!